Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of Trinidad, the second foundation of Buenos Aires. I believe so far I am doing okay rules-wise. There was one clarification though, in respect to the odd versus even turns. I was thinking, hey, these are all even, right? If you look at the years, but of course, Joe, you kindly reminded me, just look at the third digit here and then you see it's even or odd in this case. So I think it didn't really matter too much, but still thanks for confirming this to me. The one minor change it could have made is in respect to this building placement for the AI player. I think they're even going clockwise or counterclockwise or so, but still very much appreciate the comment. Again, from there we should be able to move on. Again, I will not forget to the start of the decade, and as I'm still the starting player, I get to basically draw or choose my character cards first, and I really want to start completing some sets. The noblewoman could be okay, but to be fair, in order to really score something out of your character cards at the end of the fourth round, that is, you need at least 3 of a set to get something out of this. So yeah, in theory, if I could take both round after round, then there could be a potential, it's a possibility, but I do think I want to draw more cards in here. So this is 1, this is 2. And again, I'm not particularly lucky. Yes, the carpenter here could be nice. You can do the carpentry or wood hacienda action with discount of 1 worker. That's definitely not bad. But you may activate it also even if you don't have any adjacent buildings. The last one, I have adjacent building. That's not the problem, but getting the discount of 1 worker might be worth it. The thing though is, and this is basically I do not care about. These are all election kind of things, so I think it doesn't really matter. And I just checked it. I don't have a noblewoman, I have a sailmaker. So I think getting after another noblewoman doesn't really make sense at all. Here, again, I could make a point. The problem is it would bring me over the threshold. So from the 4th character onward, which let's call it, have hired, I would have to spend 2 bronze coins or 1 silver coin. And here I'm not so sure if it's really worth it actually. If this would again complete also a set, I would totally go for it, but I don't think so. And being richest during a scoring round also gives you 7 points in the first era. So getting the money together might be still important. So no, I think I will pass on both. So I can place them in any order I see fit. I'm really not particularly lucky in respect to this character cards here. So I think I want the carpenter on top because at least it could give me something out of this later. And I also didn't really get a confirmation if I play the AI player here correctly, if they always draw cards from the deck or if they will go for this. Again, if there would be now pink card out there, and again they have the architects already with them, I might really overrule it and say I'm not drawing a card if they really would extend. But in this case, I don't think though it's worth it. So we will draw 2 cards for the AI. And I'm somewhat lucky because neither of those do them any good. So they will go for the higher number here. So they will go for the stone cutter affiliate, which doesn't score them any points. This will be discarded on the discard pile. What's the effect here? Gain 1 bronze at the ship sails for Spain procedure decade. And if you are selling 3, oh, that's not bad. Getting extra coin. Normally when spending 3 wood during the shipping action, you would gain 1 silver and 1 bronze coin. Now we would gain 2 silver coins. So I think that isn't terrible at all. So I may want to consider that later, but that's basically the end of this phase. I have to pay the salaries as I'm still at 3 characters. Again, I do not count, or affiliates, I do not count my character here. I will only have to spend 1 bronze, basically half a silver coin. And then yeah, we are doing our actions. There could be a reason to go for a Mercado because it allows me to generate money. So that's never a bad thing. And one thing that I kind of forgot, because again I'm learning the game, is that each of these production buildings, they will drive down the district value. You can have 1 of each in the district without losing any, but let's say if you build the 2nd quarry in a district, it will drive down the district value. Not an entirely bad thing. And this was the one piece which I kind of forgot when I placed the quarry out, because For whatever reason, I thought the core would improve the district value. It doesn't. But anyway, I don't have any stone right now. I have the precious resource here. I have 3 wood, which is not bad. So I think with my very first action, I may want to activate the quarry, the cantera here. I'm adjacent to that with one of my colored buildings. So yeah, absolutely, I will do that. And we'll simply collect, I don't know, 2 from here. Does it matter too much? No, I think it doesn't. But that's already the end of my action. Let's move over to the AI. What does he do? Improve status. Yeah, that's something I haven't discussed at all. It's also another great way actually to improve your actions. But let's see. If possible, AI pays the required coins, only the coins, and upgrades status. Card even decades. Now I have to check it's an even decade, so I will play it correctly. Or worker during odd decades. If the status has already progressed, upgrade to the next level, of course. Then the AI gains 1 point on the city council track. Okay, that's not the end of the world. So again, we are in an even decade, so they will upgrade their card action here. So we will place 1 worker in here. Again, right now it doesn't really matter too much because we haven't brought out any workers to the capital buildings. So they will have to spend, I think I do that incorrectly, I will have to place it here. This is where their status marker goes, and they have to spend the silver for that, which I'm really okay with actually, because this makes me richer than the AI player ever will be right now. So this is basically how they're upgrading their status. And you have basically 4 of these status tracks. The problem is you only have 2 of these status tokens. So you really have to choose wisely. And you also can use those status tokens later on to claim monuments or fountains on the main game board here. So when you use it there, you will also not be able to drive up your status. And I believe, from what I understand, once you are on here, you can't also simply remove it. That's at least, and I think you never want to do that. So here you get more powerful card actions, for example. I think he will also do that. So basically getting to look at 1 extra card when making a pick. Definitely very powerful thing to do actually. Here you simply get 25% more victory points. This is another 25%, and this is plus 100%. So really driving it all down here can give you 1 time per round for 1 source, can give you a lot of victory points. This is where you can claim city worker spaces. So you get extra worker, not spaces, city extra workers. So those guys over here, which is nice, especially if you want to complete the major building. So that's the one piece I'm thinking about. And here you can more or less substitute resources with another resource, but also only once per decade. But still, these are very powerful, let's call it special abilities. And yeah, I think for him it's definitely worth it for sure. And then he also scores 1 point on the city council track, so he will already collect 10 points at the end of the game. I think he might lose part of those, but he will score them into points or so, if I recall that correctly. But I have to wait until that card comes up. Okay, cool stuff. Back to me, and I have tons of options actually. I think it's good. I really like that. I really like that. So one consideration, I already put it out here, is to build the Mercado for 1 wood and 1 stone. I would also gain 3 vote points, which would also bring me to 10 victory points, so that's not bad. I can then sell stuff to the market for 1 silver, so that's nice. I could also go for a casa, but that's not running away from it right now. The next thing, that's a more, let's say, important one, and that's the quartel, the barracks, I believe, which definitely gives me immediate 5 victory points. That's cool. We get 5 vote points. We have to spend 2 workers. We have the resources for that, so that's also not bad. And keep in mind, because of my character here, my general, I will score basically those victory points. So 1 victory point for each barrack that is on the board. It doesn't matter who built it, I will gain it when it's out there. And because we are playing in a 2-3 player game, I'll get basically 1 extra point. And we are not doing the council vote here. But that's only 1 extra victory point. Still, it's 5 victory points here, so that's not terrible. Yeah, and I think I can upgrade to I think these are, what are the soldiers, I believe. But then I need metal, and I don't have metal. And if we have the fort, I could then even upgrade my soldier to a veteran soldier. Not sure if I want to do that just yet, actually. No, let's do that. Sorry. I will go for the Mercado now. So I will place one worker in here. It's only one worker. I gain 1, 2, 3 votes. I spend the resources here respectively, so 1 wood and 1 stone. And then, yeah, we have to place the Mercado, which has to go next to one of my colored, or basically to my buildings. And honestly, this time I think I will place it in here. Yes, in theory it will benefit the AI player here, but again, if he builds a second market into this district, this will drive down the district value, I think, by 1 only. It's really not the end of the world, but keeps this a little bit in control. So that's the market build. I have scored my votes, and I think that's already the end of my turn. Let's move back to the AI. Oh, that's an interesting one. We haven't seen this before. Build a major building. Place up to 2 AI workers. And this is now where it's important. Again, the AI will never lose those workers, which is also good. It helps me. I think that is also a good thing. So we will place 2 of their workers in here. And this is now where I have to start making notes actually about the actions that he has taken. If a building has AI workers, place workers there in the more valuable spaces. Okay, that's not the case. If 2 or more buildings have workers, choose the one with fewer spaces missing. Okay, we are also not doing this. If no buildings have been started, that's the case. Place workers on an available building following this order. Odd decade. So we will start, no, we are in an even decade. Okay, even decade, it's the cathedral. Okay, we will place those 2 guys to the cathedral, which is up here. 1 and 1. We will not score those points right away. I think they will go to the highest spaces, I believe, right? Otherwise it doesn't make sense. But what will happen is the first player to basically commit to a major building will score those points here. So that's the first 6 points for the AI, who is already running away with the game. 6 first points here done. Okay, but at least we are seeing some action. Okay, I like that. That's really pretty cool. But now I have to start thinking about replacement discs for the workers, because again, normally they will stay there for a normal player on those major buildings until those buildings have been built or until you recall them, but then you have to pay a penalty. But the AI player always has the full 5 workers available, which in this case again is a good thing, because building this cathedral with just 2 players with their limited discs would be impossible basically. Okay then, back to me. I think up next we may want to go for a casa. Does it help me? The problem is the casa doesn't give me any points at all, right? Because I believe, yeah, the district value is basically 0 right now, as we will only increase the value of this district for each church, corporation, hacienda, barracks, fountain or monument. So there could be a good reason now to build a monument. No, we have to start with the plaza, and the plaza itself doesn't really help us, right? No, it doesn't. That's now an interesting one, but I think I want... No, let's not worry about the district for now. I think we want to milk the Mercado here. Yeah, let's do that. So we have to place... No, it's only 1 actually. We only need to place 1 worker, and we will sell 2 wood, which is okay. I think we can even sell any combination of these 2 resources. But I will get the wood back, so I think I'm okay. So I will spend the 2 wood here, 2 lumber, and this gives me 1 silver in return, which is pretty awesome. So I could use the silver to go to the load ship action, and with 1.5 silver we would gain 1 faith token, and faith tokens, it's also a majority thing, so we'll score 7 points if you have the majority in faith tokens. And I'm not sure how aggressive the AI will collect those actually. But that's basically already the end of my turn. It's back to the AI. They will keep drawing. It's really a large deck actually. They have 2 workers left. Oh, they will go for a lot. If there is already a lot, no, we place it with a house. If there are 3 houses, build a palace. No, we are not going to do that. The good thing is he wouldn't have the workers for a house anyway. So what they will do, they will place their 2 remaining workers to build another, basically it's their first lot again, because they already have only houses out there. And I believe he's placing this next to the southernmost location if it's in here. Again, they will try to stay in the same district because you want to drive up the victory points. But right now this district isn't worth anything because you can only score for your house. For the palaces, that's somewhat different. But for the houses, it's themselves, they're only worth something if you drive up the value of the district through monuments, through barracks, through church, these kind of things. But again, if they will upgrade one of their houses to a palace, then this is a different story, because I think the palace is worth at least 10 victory points, which is, I think, quite a lot in this game. But that's basically the end of their action, also the end of their turn, because they're now out of workers, so they will pass. And I still have 3 more left, and I think I think we have to do that actually. We will go with our carpenter affiliate to activate our carpenter. We still have to send a worker there, because I can activate it twice with this affiliate, with 1 worker. I basically get 4 pieces of wood, which, oh, okay, this is now, that's a situation now. Is that something I truly want to do? Because I will definitely, I will empty 2 spaces, so 2 here and then 1 and 1. Ooh, that's, I don't know if I want to do that actually. I mean, I would be losing, it's 2 victory points in the end. It's not the end of the world, but it will also drive up the tension of the natives. Basically 1 for each of those empty tracks. Also not saying that this is something, because ultimately these things will happen, right? And 4 wood is better than 2 wood. And the eye is typically trying to avoid that anyway. But I think there is no rush. No, I will not activate my affiliate. I will simply collect 2 pieces of wood here, which I think is still okay for me. Maybe I really need to play this game a little bit more aggressively, but let's be careful for now. So that's basically me. The eye will pass now. And again, I still have 2 more workers left. I have now the resources to build a casa, but I also have those resources next round. So this is also not running away. I could debate now to go for one of these upgrades here. The question is, what would I do with the remaining worker? Could still build a plaza, for example. The plaza doesn't help me, but I think this is an early investment which you want to take as early as possible. This is pretty cool, this track. Replacing 1 resource with another, even though you only do that once per round, is cool. But honestly, doing this, and I think I'm also saving on, my salaries for 1 bronze coin. I think I can basically ignore 1 card for my salaries, right? I think this is what this symbol here means. And yes, indeed, 1 time per decade, the player can draw 1 additional card. It's only 1 time per decade when they draw cards from the deck, and the player can also ignore 1 affiliate card in the salaries payment procedure. So I think in order to get to the more powerful sets, this might be actually a thing, and will also save me some coin. Again, the problem still stands. What do I do with the remaining worker? I may have found a solution for the extra worker. I could still load the ship here, and I could gain a steel resource, and with a steel resource I can also upgrade my... No, the Miliciano is something I can upgrade. Oh, then it's good. No, then I think I know what I'm doing. No, I think this is actually quite perfect. So no, I will also go in here. So basically with my penultimate worker here. Again, it's either this or that. I think I want this one here too, actually. This seems really powerful, and I think it's not blocked, so everyone can go there. So I also have to spend, this is the 1 worker, I have to spend the silver, which I dearly paid for that. The next time I'm going there, basically, or if I want to upgrade another one, then I have to spend 2 and 2, and then for the third I need to spend 3 and 3. If I start another track, then I basically start from 1 again. No, I think this is good. This is good. This allows me to get 1 extra worker, 1 extra affiliate without paying for them. That's pretty amazing. Awesome. Let's try to not forget that, actually. And then I still have 1 more worker left, and I think I will upgrade my Miliciano here. So I will spend one, I have to spend one of these precious resources now. And this allows me to upgrade my Miliciano as well, because there is also a scoring category for the most powerful miniature out there. Right now we are tied, and I think the ties are relatively friendly in this game. So at least the AI is not scoring those points on their own. Okay, that's basically the end of the decade. I'm not reactivating. No one has sent workers to the ship action. We will check for the tension. None of those tracks are currently empty, and also not the coin stacks here. Again, we are a bit, but depends. I don't know if that's happening for a two-player game that often actually. So let's do the tension first. Still, we will draw a card from the deck here. So this is getting discarded. This is another blue one. And yes, we will see a tribal icon, which means this track is advancing. We are not in the red. We don't have two markers on top of each other, so we do not really care about this one. Then we will do the turn order. It's not changing. We will recover all of our workers here respectively. Again, the two workers of the eye will remain here, but I will replace those with other colors, so that I will, at least for placing the workers, I have the same colors. Otherwise this is driving me crazy actually. Okay, hope that's fine for you. We are not doing a scoring phase. Last thing to do, we are moving into the final decade of this era. At the end of this era, oops, we will also see a scoring happening. And that's that. Let's keep going. I'm still the starting player. I will use the special power from my abilities, or from my influence, so I get to draw one extra card. So 1, 2, and 3, and this is kind of ridiculous. I do not get any sort of colors. The thing is, I can always substitute one color with 3 cards from another color, basically. So I have 3 different colored cards. Okay, I can create basically one brown card out of these 3 cards here, virtually, that is, which would still help me. This is pretty amazing. You can do the improved status action with a discount of 1 worker and 1 bronze coin. This is really nice. The governor affiliate is also not bad, so I think every time we are using it, this card, and we are increasing attention level, so if we do that willingly, basically, oh, I think increasing attention level by 1. I think whenever this happens, I can flip it, and then I will get the coin. Also not terrible. And this one here, you can do the market or corporation action construction with a discount of 1 worker. You can activate it if you, yeah, okay, that's nice as well. So I think this one here sounds pretty tempting, and because it doesn't drive up my cost because I have upgraded my status, I think this is pretty nice here. Let's go with a noblewoman affiliate, and then I have to place them in order, and I think I have to do that like that, because otherwise he might have an interest in the red character here. Then it's the AI. I think they will also now draw 3 cards here. Relatively certain about that. And again, oh, this would be a nice one. Gain a discount of 1 in a payment. Oof, this is so strong. And I think he will go for the red one because he's interested in driving up like colored things. So yeah, I think that's the case. And I guess the lowest one goes on top of this as far as I remember. Then I have to pay the salaries. Virtually, I'm still at 3 affiliates because I get the discount because of my improved status, but I still need to spend 1 bronze. But I'm still in the lead in respect to money, and I think I need to stay in the lead actually, because again this will score me some points at the end of this decade. So now we will do some actions. Okay, I really don't know what I'm doing here. So I guess I'm going to build a house. Casa. The thing is, the casa doesn't give me anything right now. Maybe during the next round though, next era. On the other hand, going to the Cantera, the quarry, giving me some stone, which I could then sell at the Macaro. That's something I could still do. This is not, no one can take this away from me, right? Yeah, I think let's do that. So we will go to the casa. I need to spend 2 workers to build it. We need 1 wood and 1 stone, and this allows me to replace my lot with a house, a casa here. Nice. Okay, Buenos Aires is starting to look much nicer, it seems, but that's already the end of my activation. Let's move over to the AI. Activate a building. I think we have seen this before, but I don't know if these are all exactly the same. So let's start from the top down to the bottom. If there are at least 2 resources in a grid, take 1 wood in odd decade. We are in an odd decade, so he's trying to take wood, but that's not possible. There are not 2 resources in a grid. Okay, then we'll move on. If 1 is not possible, if there are at least 3 resources of the other type in a grid, that's basically stone. I think this is possible. Let's cut 2 of them and take 1. Yeah, that's what he's doing actually. Normally he would go for wood, but because it's not possible, he is discarding 2 of those. That's pretty mean. I was going for the stone. Oh, that's terrible. But okay, can't change it. And he will basically convert this into these precious resources here. Yeah. If his character would be a merchant, he would first go with 2. I get it. Okay. Then activate a building adjacent to an AI building in this order. Corporation market. Gain 2. 1 from the board. If there is a corporation. Okay, I see that. No, we don't have a corporation out there right now. In this order. Yeah, of course. I did place the building from him. This is exactly, you need to know these cards. So this means he's grabbing 1. No, I think he has to take this from the coin stick here, of course. So it is a problem placing buildings next to him. I understand that now. We don't have a church, so we are not doing this, but therefore he has to spend 1 worker in order to do that. Okay, that was his activation, which means he is now in the lead in respect to money, which also means he would score 7 points instead of me at the end of this decade. So I have to do something about that for sure. Yeah, this is not looking good. I think I may have to take a penalty hit now in respect to my victory points. So I will go to the negative. Negative, it seems. Yeah, I think because I need to do something, because otherwise I will be basically out of the game. So I will activate the quarry. I will grab 2 stone here. Good news is we will also refill it at the end of this round. Hooray! We have the 2 stone, but because I have taken the last one off this grid, I will lose a victory point. I'm not exactly sure how to mark it down. The rules say I have to basically place this on the other side. This is normally the plus 150 points marker. So I think I will basically add it to this. So first now I have to move to the left before I'm allowed to move to the right again. Unless again I'm losing more and more points, that is. Yeah, let's play like this. So at least it seems I'm doing progress. Apparently I'm not, or obviously I'm not. Over to the AI. And okay, that's the one I was kind of, let's say, waiting for. Score the council. 3 players? No. We are doing the solo game. Reduce AI city council score by half. Round down. Huh. So this almost seems like good news to me, actually. So he will simply lose points, but he's not gaining anything. In a 3-player game, on the other hand, he would score victory points. Not in a solo mode. Yeah, cool. I totally take that. Which is, again, kind of interesting because I'm never losing those points here. This seems odd. This seems really odd. Not sure if I'm missing something here or not. But yeah, he's moving down from 10 down to 5. And again, I can only move up by building more buildings. I will move up like crazy. I mean, there are really only some more steps left here. And I mean, if I go in here, I would score 30 points at the end of the game. And he just lost, I don't know, 6 or 8 points, basically. Okay, not sure if I'm missing something, but okay, I take it. But okay, let's score some more gold or silver in this case, right? So we are moving this worker here to the Mercado. We are spending the 2 stone here we just got for 1 silver. I think that's what we need to do. Right now we are again in the lead here in respect to money, but as you can see, this can easily change. Back to the AI. Okay, and that's basically the 2 cards that I have removed during setup. So what we will do next is, once we have triggered this, we will reshuffle the whole pile. Again, we will randomly remove 2 cards, put them on the bottom of the deck face up, and yeah, every time you're going through this deck you will have a slightly different setup. But let's see, what are we going to do? Oh, we are doing it again. But okay, maybe in this case, the market is pretty empty actually. So same thing, if there are at least 2 resources in a grid, take one. Again, we are still in an odd decade. So again, he will go for the wood. That's not possible. If what is not possible, if there are at least 3 roses of the other resource in the grid, that's also no longer possible. We don't have 3 stone in there. If 2 is not possible either, then do nothing. And again, the merchant would do the other thing. Okay, oh no, gosh, okay. Let's see. Okay, he will try to activate the church. He's not doing that. He will gain 1 more silver. Okay, by placing the market here, I really have done a terrible mistake. I totally should have placed the market in here. Again, you need to know these cards. I believe I have seen this other card already. I think there are 3 copies of this card in there, so I could have known that he's doing this. So this is insane, bringing him to 2.5 silver. On the other hand, this now gives me the freedom to do something else. I can now send someone here to the harbor, so basically load a ship, send them with 1.5 silver there, and we'll collect 1 faith token at the end of this round, but before we do the actual scoring. So at least I will get some points from the faith. I think this is really my best bet. So do we want to do that? I think we do. We will go there, we will activate the sailmaker. So I get a discount of 2. So I'm not spending any of my workers. Okay, that's nice. I almost forgot that it's a complete discount basically. I still have to send the money there. So I'm getting 1 bronze coin back, which I do need to pay my salaries next round. Otherwise, I'm really in desperate one. I need to be careful. I need this 1 for sure. And I think, yeah, we have to place... Yeah, we are not placing anything in here. So let's simply... how do we do that, actually? I think we have to do something like this, right? We have to spend the money in here. Or here, I don't know. Doesn't matter too much. Just to show that I have taken this action here. But it didn't cost me any workers. I'm not sure what I will do with the other workers. Maybe I will take some more penalties. Because I think I need more resources. But okay, let's do... I will now reshuffle the deck of the AI. We'll set it up accordingly. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, let's see then. Oh no. Doing it again. It's doing it again. I think these are all the same. So it doesn't do anything here, but it's, I think, yeah, we will start here. There's still no church there. So he will still collect another piece of silver. He's rich. He is rich. And I did this to him. Again, this was a terrible mistake. I mean, it's a learning game. So learn from my mistakes for sure. Don't do that. Really don't do that at home. But okay, it still cost them 1 worker, and I think he's down to 1 worker. But he can take that action again. I have no clue how this deck has been set up now. I still have 2 more workers. I think I will spend 1 to grab myself another Miliciano. Again, a war will happen sooner or later. Not sure when, but I'm relatively certain it will. Yeah, that's my turn. Let's move back here. Build a major building. Okay, we already know that drill. AI places 3 workers in there. If a building has AI workers, place workers there in the more valuable spaces. Yes, we do have that. The thing is, he only is down to 1 worker, but he will place it anyway. I will stick to the yellow workers here. So he's slowly progressing. You don't only get the 6 victory points for the first time you are going there if you are the first player there. But it's still 3 more points when this building is getting built. And there could be a reason actually for me sooner or later also to move in. But I will really not get a lot of points. But I could say maybe let's get in there with 1 or 2 of those, and then maybe with whatever, closing it off with 1 or 2 more workers, and because then I get to choose where to place this major building. This can be in theory can be huge, but I think I'm doing okay either way. Again, I'm not sure what to do with my last remaining worker here. Of course, I could go to the carpentry, gain myself 2 wood. I would go for this action instead, but I'm down to only 1 wood. The thing is, if I do that, I will take 2 hits, 2 penalties, which again, ultimately may not be the end of the world. Maybe let's do that actually. Maybe let's consider that. Maybe I'm now in an okay shape, military-wise at least, I think. I don't know. Then I will go into the next round a little bit stronger. On the other hand, stone is getting refilled at the end of this decade, and it seems we are never changing the first player with the AI cards. At least I haven't seen any of these cards. 2 were left, but I think these were standard cards. So I guess I could wait, but do I want wood? Let's do that. I think it's worth it. Let's go in here to the carpentry. I'm still adjacent to a carpentry. And in theory, I could now really go completely crazy and take all 4 wood from the board. But I think this also makes his action much stronger. So I guess let's not do that. So we are doing this, right? Yeah. We will take 1, 2 victory point hits, 1 and 2. And honestly, this is kind of a bummer that the AI doesn't do that, because it really said in the rules, it says they avoid it if they can. But the cards that I have seen tell me that he's not going to do that. Not at all. Again, I think he is getting punished here on the voting track, which I'm never going to use. I believe, at least as far as I understand. Maybe the card should really say we are losing both are losing these vote points somehow. That would make sense, but I don't know. I really don't know. But that's basically the end of the decade and also the end of the era. We still do the end of decade first before we do the scoring. No reactivation. I have sent a ship, so this money is gone, but therefore I will collect one of these valuable faith tokens here, which I am in the lead and which will give me some victory points at least. So that's that. Then we do the tension. Yes, we do have 1, 2, 3 tracks that are empty, which means, oh yeah, wow, this is quite a lot. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we are 1 step away from our first war. This escalated pretty quickly actually, but we are not done yet, because we still have to discard one of these cards. It's a carpenter field, but no, this card doesn't show the proper tomahawk item, the icon, so we are not increasing the tension level any further. Okay, dodge that bullet. Again, I'm not necessarily sure if that would have been a bad thing, because with my general, I think I would be, no, with my, not with my general affiliate, exactly. I could have gained 1 coin. So again, driving this up could make sense for me. Could make sense. So let's not totally forget about this. That was the tension. Then we actually do refill. So we have some more lumber available. Okay, here's that. And we're also getting 3 more stone out. Okay, okay. And by the way, the components that you're looking at, these plastic components, the game also comes, at least my copy also comes with wooden cubes. So if you're the typical Eurogamer and prefer cubes without ice, that's the way to go. But yeah, I'm using those, obviously. Okay, that's that. We will, turn order didn't change. We will recover our workers. As we are ending an era, we are scoring. So we have the scoring card right here on the back side of our little turn overview. Okay, richest player is clearly the AI. They will score 7 points because we are in the first era. So they're moving to 13 points already. Hooray. Highest AV player. This is basically the attack value of our characters. We both have an upgraded Miliciano, so I think we get it both, but only half of it. Indeed, so red is getting 1, 2, 3 more. I'm also getting 3, so I'm back at 0. Hooray! What do you think about that? Then we do the most faith tokens. That's clearly me. Only 1, but that's enough. So I'm moving to 7 victory points. Hooray! Then we have banners. Oh, I wasn't aware that we have even with 4 banners I would get this. Oh, interesting. But yeah, I think there is no one again, and the AI is not scoring for those banners or taking those banners in any way. So then we are looking for the characters and the card series. So you want like a colored card series. So I have 2 brown here. As you can see, 3 is not enough, but I can take 3 of different colored, and the Sailmaker and the Noblewoman are different colored, even though they show both black. This is I think has some pattern in the background here. I will basically score the minimum points, so I will move to 8, but that's basically the same for the AI, so they will also score a point. So he's now at 17, I'm at 8. Then we would do the district value, and right now again we get -1 for each market over the first one. No district has more than 1 of these production buildings. So it really need, I think it really need, you have to have 2 markets in a sector in order to drive it down. Then 2 for each church, 5 for roads, walls, cathedral, and so on. We don't have that at all. So basically the district value for all these districts is currently 0. Each house gives you 1 victory point for each colored of basically buildings of your color in that district. So this would be 1, 2, I think even the lot might count in here, if I recall that correctly. So in theory, this would be 6 points, but you cannot score more points than the district is worth, or the value of the district, which is 0. So the houses do not score anything. That's my understanding. It's different for the palace. But you also get points for these faith tokens here. And the faith tokens drive up 1 per player houses within the district value. But again, as the district value is a 0, I will not score a point. So I guess my best bet would have indeed been to build, what was it, a barrack in this district here, because then I would have been able to score some actual points here. Definitely did some mistakes here, but live and learn. I really start to see the intricacies and what you need to worry about, and honestly I like it, even though I suck at it. But that's basically the end of the scoring phase. So we are moving into the next decade here. I'm still the starting player. At least we start to see some points, and now I can also pay some points actually, which might be a good thing. And yeah, I think I will keep playing for today, at least this round here. But by then you were able to see really the vast majority of things that this game has to offer, at least in solo mode. There is definitely a little bit more in the multiplayer game. Again, there are votes, there is, I think you can make bargains basically. But I think let's keep playing for now, and then let's see how things go from here. Again, maybe I can still show you 1 or 2 other things in this game. And again, honestly, I must say I really very much enjoy the exercise here. The solo mode seems to be pretty good actually, and I can see how you can easily feed 2 AI players with 1 of these decks here. But even though you can basically mimic or reproduce these decks with whatever alternative cards and whatever, write some code on it, say build a major building and then follow it through, I think it's really relatively easy to achieve. But yeah, let's keep going. We will start again. Oh, that's now an interesting one with hiring our characters. Again, I'm the starting player. Is there something I do want? The Carpenter affiliate. If you have to take wood, you can receive them from the game supply. This is an insanely good card and goes so nicely together with my card actually, basically with a Carpenter affiliate here, because if I take these resources, I'm not forced to take them from those resource grids. That's insanely good. The alternative would be to go with 3 cards and hope for another general affiliate, which would then also complete a set. But honestly, this Carpenter affiliate is so powerful. But right now, the resources are out there. I've just emptied the market, so I think there is no immediate rush. If I would have been able to take this affiliate at basically the beginning of the last round, this would have been a no-brainer. I would have wiped out all the markets with all the wood I needed, but I think it's now a little bit too late. So no, I think I will stay on target. 1, 2, e3 using my upgraded status. But again, I'm not necessarily lucky. Yeah, here we basically have the same thing for the stone cutter. If you take stone, you can take it from the game supply. In this case, of course, I would have totally opted to go with the carpenter. And the captain, you can consider your work at this like a Miliciano miniature, which is nice. Yeah, I think it helps you basically during a war, for example. Do I care about any one of those? I mean, I have to discard down because I don't have the money to satisfy them all. Because that would be next, I have to pay my salaries here. Is there something which I think I would get rid of? Again, maybe the noblewoman. She is cool, but I will also not use her anytime soon. Right, so I guess in this case I will go for the stone cutter affiliate, right? Let's do that, yeah, and these will be discarded, and I believe it doesn't matter, but maybe let's hold on to this bishop. Let's do the same here. 1, 2, and 3. And he's also not particularly lucky, so he will go for the blue one because this can help him to get another set, and this goes on top of this. I think the lower goes on top of the higher one, as far as I remember, but I think it doesn't really matter too much. Next, I have to pay my salaries. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would totally drive me into the silver range. For every 3, I have to spend 1 bronze. That's basically what it means. I get 1 discount because of my upgraded status, but that's still, so I can basically ignore 1. So I could say I ignore this card, but this would still leave me with 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would still have to pay 1, and then yeah, I can even either take victory point hits for not paying them, or I can simply discard them. I think I will discard her for now because again she doesn't really help me, so I basically in my limits. I still have to spend 1 coin. It's really a bummer that the eye is not paying any salaries. I do think that's maybe a flaw in those rules, but let's see how things go. I really don't know actually. And that's basically the end of, what is it called? Start of the decade, and now we are going into the actual actions. I will still be the starting player, and in order to make sure I'm able to use my carpenter affiliate here, I will have to go to the Carpentiera. I will activate the card here accordingly, so I can activate this one twice, which is an interesting one. So with my first one, I could go basically for those here. That's a possibility. And with the second activation, I can take the other option of the carpentry, which allows me with basically the same worker to spend those 2 resources here to get a valuable resource. But then again, I would take a hit because I would empty out the precious resources. On the other hand, the precious resources are pretty amazing. I could gain a banner. If I do that twice, getting this banner here might make sense. On the other hand, if I simply want coin, I want to send, I think I need the money actually. No, I will simply take forward in this case. Could have been a tricky one, but I have talked myself into this. No, I will do basically the first option here twice with my carpenter affiliate, and that's my go done. Over to the AI. Oh, load the ship. First time he's loading the ship. That's an interesting one. AI places on a dock a triplet of resources in odd decade. We are in an even decade. All 3 resources. A triplet of 3 or 3 resources, the type most available, which I think is 3 stone for him. Take the resources from the... What? Take the resources from the board, from the crits? Are you kidding me? First of all, he's spending 2 workers. Yeah, he will go for 3 resources of the same. So in this case, I guess he will take a victory point hit actually, because stone is clearly most available. So in theory, he will take these 2 for sure, because again, he will try to avoid that wherever possible, right? That's the idea. Then he will simply take 1 more. So he will lose 1 point, and he will drive us into war at the end of this decade. That's good to know, actually. That's good to know. And then he will still gain 3 points here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think he has to lose these points every now and then. Still, I don't know why I'm not losing those. Or if in solo mode, if there should be, I don't know, something which I could do with my points. Whatever, convert them into money or something like that. Though it's then really on me, or I will simply lose based on stuff or so. That's a little bit weird, actually. Okay then, time to take some stone, and I will use my stone cutter affiliate here, right? Indeed. What's this one here? That's the sailmaker. So I get 2, and I choose to not take it from the board display, from the board grids. I will take it from the reserve. So really, I'm swimming in resources. So this can't be a bad thing, right? So that was my turn done. Let's see what he's doing. Build a lot. We already know that. If there is already a lot, replace a lot with a house. But if there are already 3 houses, build palaces instead of replacing a house. No, that's not the case. I think, but now we are really coming closer for him to actually build a palace, and then he will score points like crazy. In order to do that, he needs to spend 2 more workers. Indeed. So he's down to basically 1 worker for his next action. Unfortunately, my sailmaker is still tapped, and this also means, yeah, I should consider to untap this one. I think this definitely does make sense, but before I do that, I also I think we need some more money. So I will send 2 of my workers here, and I will send this with 3 more resources. Again, I have given up on scoring any points for silver, but that's totally on me. I would have won that category if I wouldn't have given him the market, actually. That was so stupid of me, but okay, it is what it is. So that was my action here. Again, this will resolve at the end of this decade. Let's keep going with the EI. Improve the status. Yeah, we already have seen that. So if possible, I pays the required coins and upgrades the status. Card on even decades. No, yeah, we are on even decades. So he would do the same thing. If the status has already progressed, upgrade to the next level. The thing is, he has the money, but he doesn't have the workers in order to do so. So in this case, I believe I have to basically keep drawing, and it doesn't say that we are swapping if he can't do that. So we could also say let's go for the workers then instead, but I think we will follow now the card as written. So, oh, they will continue with a major building, but he only has still 1 more worker left. So he's not moving very quickly on this track, but that's again a little bit up to me, and also depends. If would have played this card as his first action, then yes, or every time with his first action, we would have seen already 9 tokens on this card. Now we have 4, so would be 5 more, but last 2 were only 1 worker disc each. But I'm not complaining here, I take it. Let's definitely try to not forget to reactivate my cards at the end of this round. At least for each disc I can untap 2. I could send in, that's the thing now. I could send in 2 discs, but I think I'm okay right now. I think I'm okay with just activating 2 of my cards. No, that's fine, that's fine. The question now really is, because again, AI has to pass now, spend all of their workers already. I could now debate if I want to go for another Miliciano now, because we will see a war happening this round. And they will hit us, oh, only with a 0 actually. 0 modifier, so there is a good chance we will actually win. So yeah, let's do that. So we will go for that. We will take another Miliciano, and again, these guys are heavily limited too. There are 2 more left. Yeah, let's do that, because we will see a war happening basically now, and that's basically the end of this round. So I really see the game is moving along much quicker. For the most part, I think I'm very cool with the rules. I'm very cool with the solo rules. Yes, there are some ambiguities which I'm not 100% sure about, but for the most part, I'm really having a good time here. Awesome. Then we do the reactivation. I have reactivated, which means I will, I believe, reactivate my carpenter and my sailmaker affiliate for now. Then we will do the ship. He has sent 3 resources, so he will get basically 1.5 silver. So he's now at 5 silver. He's really swimming in the dough. I will also get 1.5. So I really needed this to pay my wages, my salaries next round. So this is gone basically. So we have taken care of this. I will remove those worker discs when we get there. Then we do the tension. We have 1 empty tension track here, these resource grids here, which means we have to move this guy over. But again, we are still drawing a card because it could be worse. And yes, we are moving it further. And that's a merchant affiliate. Take up to 4 resources from the city warehouse, taking a 1 victory penalty each only. How much do we normally get? 2 victory point each. Okay, yeah, it's okay, but yeah, let's not do that. But yeah, we have seen the tomahawk here. At least I think it is a tomahawk. So we will see a war happening now. What will happen is we will take one of these peace stuffs here and we'll place it onto the next decade, which means a war can only happen every other turn. In the worst case, that is. So if we move in here, we are safe basically. And then we are fighting the war. And there are basically 2 versions of this war. A very basic one, which we will do or see here. And then there is a more advanced one, which comes with some kind of a battle board. And I think then you also have additional miniatures, which you can move around. Some of these cards simply give you extra points and extra special abilities and whatnot. So I think this could make sense, but I'm relatively certain it will also make the game considerably longer. But for today, we are going with the basic war. Next, we have to check which war we are fighting. Clearly, we are fighting against the natives. Then we see basically how strong the enemy will be. Their base value is a 2. And we are coming with a +1 because we have increased it 1 more. So this is basically, this +5 only counts if we're adding another disc on top, which will happen here basically. And yeah, moving in that space in here. But for now, we are dealing with a 3. So we have to fight or come up with 3 attack value basically. If there would be any walls or any district closed up by walls, we haven't seen those. I'm not sure if that's a thing in a 2-player game. It will still drive up your district value, but yeah, I didn't do that. So let's not worry about that right now. We would have drawn a card. This would have driven down the attack value of the attack. And then if we are still positive, which we are because we don't have any walls here, we will have to fight them. And we do that player by player. I'm the starting player, so I will go first. But in fact, it says inverse turn order. I think they mean reverse turn order, I guess. Inverse turn order. I think it doesn't really matter too much. Then let's start with the eye. So what we will check now is how many strength points do we have. He only has an upgraded Miliciano, which brings 2 attack value to the table and 2 wounds that this figure is able to suffer from. Which means we are hitting it with a 3. I think we are not adding any more cards from what I see. Exactly. And we can still add cards to increase our AV bonus. So for each affiliate we are now discarding, we can basically drive down this attack value here as well. Again, right now he's clearly losing that war for sure, because again, that's a 2. He's fighting a 3. The thing is, it's nowhere mentioned if the eye player is actually discarding cards here. I really don't know if they do that. It's not mentioned in the rules. There's only 1 paragraph which speaks about the war expansions, or basically the extended war variant. Then basically another player would play for the eye player, from what I understood. Apart from that, I couldn't really see anything that they would do to discard these. No, it's not mentioned in here. But yeah, I decided to play the rules as written. I think so, let's do that. So they have basically lost the war, which means it's basically going down to the right. So they will, for each war you're losing, you're moving this war market to the right, and at the end of the game you will score points or will lose points. So he's moving to a -3 in this case. I think it's not the end of the world, but I'm not discarding any cards because, again, also with cards you can gain some points. Let's play it this way. Each miniature you had sent to the war would now take one of these wound tokens, but I do not think that he would have sent this miniature. He would simply accept the fact, no, I have lost, I'm okay with that, and we'll take it from there. So I think we are not suffering any wounds here. That would be my verdict. This is really one of the pieces which is a little bit unclear and, yeah, foggy in the rules. But okay, that was the war for the AI player. Then it's over to me. Basically the same rules apply, so we have to fight an attack value of 3. I could now make a point to whatever sent these two fellas into the war. This fella would die because he can only take a wound. This fella here can, I believe, take one. Oh, I actually forgot to place tokens underneath those fellas because I can't have more than those, actually. That's important. That's really important. But I had those. So I could do this. So this fella would die and this would take a wound and would still live. And I think there are cards that can heal you, but yeah, I haven't seen those yet. I could also say, no, I want to hold on to this fella. I want to send those guys in and want to assign one of my cards to one of these miniatures here. This card would then be dead and gone. There could be a reason to say, why not send the stone cutter out there, because then I can hold on to this fella here longer. The point now really is I don't know how many wars we will see. We will see another war at the final decade of the game. I think it will be fought no matter what, from what I understood. So there are reasons to really keep those guys around for some time. But again, I will lose if I do this. Basically also burn this card, and I can burn a tapped card. Then these fellas would be down, but I could get them back actually. So this wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing, and I have used the stone cutter. Let's do that. So I assign this card to this fella. He has now an attack value of 2. He has a 1, so we have 3. 3 versus 3 is enough to win this war. Amazing job. This card, I think it's discarded actually. I think it goes into my discard pile. Could be wrong, not 100% sure. Both of these guys are dead. They go back to the reserve, but yeah, I can hire them back a little bit later on. Because I have won a war, I will move here to the left, so I will score some points right now. And I think I will also now activate my general affiliate, which says gain 1 silver when you win a war, or 2 if these were pirates. They were not pirates, but I still take it. We will take the silver from this general affiliate here. Nice. Okay, that wasn't terrible at all. That was the entirety of the war. Relatively simple, but I like it. Let's refill here. The only thing that we have to refill is actually stone. The rest will stay where it is. And again, I did a mistake actually. Oh, I think I did this more than once. Ooh, that's a problem now. I have taken the money from the supply, and I think I have done the same for the AI player earlier on. So I kind of lost track here where we should be, but it's too tough for me now to take back. I could simply say let's remove 1 coin here. I'm not sure if that would have somehow changed my turn or so. I don't know. So this would now also refill, but just to penalize me somewhat, I will simply leave things like those are right now. Yeah, sorry for that. Again, for whatever reason, I have always taken the coins from this. And I think I also did this. Yeah, I even did this here, actually. I even did this here. I really don't know how this would have changed the victory points. Definitely the tension level. So I think let's do something in between. Let's not award the victory point penalties here. Let's simply do this, because if this is empty, we are increasing the pirate track here accordingly. And now let's simply refill this track in here. And I think, shouldn't this be 3 actually? I think this should be 1 per player. This is now again the thing, 1 per player. What does this mean? 2 player, or do I play 3 player? Let's place 2 discs on here. Yeah, these are some of the rule problems I have seen right now with this solo mode. Again, these are all things that do not apply for the multiplayer game. I really think the multiplayer rules are really clear, for the most part at least. Again, it is what it is. But I think, yeah, we will recover all of our workers, of course. Let's not forget that. And then that's basically the end of the era. So we will not see a war in the next round to come. That's at least something, because this marker doesn't move. It only moves to the right. It moves back basically here when we go to the last space, but then it has 2 tokens on it, so they will never get any better. There might be cards out there which would allow me to decrease the tension level also, I don't know, but usually it's only getting worse from here. Okay, I think this was a relatively long episode. For whatever reason, I was sure I would be able to complete this 2 era in this video. I was wrong, but that's also true because there were new mechanics I had to explain, some rules I had to check, so things took a little bit longer, and I'm still not 100% sure about these things. At this point in time, I really do think you have seen it all for the solo mode, now also including a war, which I think was definitely fun to watch, even though I'm still not 100% sure if I played this correctly for the AI player or not. Let me know if I missed something or not. Also, I will let you decide if you want me to basically finish my playthrough, so basically playing the last 3 rounds of this game, basically from 1630 to 1650, and then yeah, I will consider it. My opinion is I would rather wrap it up here, maybe think some of these questions through which I had, and maybe revisit this game at a later point in time with some of the fixes. And also, knowing what I know now, the playing experience might be a little bit smoother. I may not make that many dumb mistakes like placing the market here right next to the iPlayer, for example. But anyway, let me know what you think, and I will definitely consider that. But I really want to hear from you, so I really want to see some comments, some encouraging comments telling me I should keep playing. If not, that's fine too. Again, I might consider revisiting this at a little bit later point time, maybe after also playing it in a multiplayer game or so, and we'll simply move on to another game. And I definitely do have 1 or 2 other games in the pipeline right now which I do want to showcase. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed my little playthrough so far. Again, I must say I'm really fond of the game so far, and again, I can't wait to bring it to the table playing a multiplayer game. And yeah, huge shout out to all of my patrons here and channel members, of course. Sorry for that. You guys are truly amazing. Really appreciate all your support. You can support my little channel by joining me on Patreon, joining me here on YouTube. There is this little join button. There's also a little thanks button beneath the video for a small or not so small donation. Like and subscribe. This also greatly helps. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. And then yeah, really hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And yeah, until then, bye bye.